So I start sketching from the middle. The lines are, some parts are stronger, some parts are not. Try to be light about the sketch. I'm just erasing some parts to see if I'm balancing the trees well. So I have one on the right side, another one a little off from the middle on the left side, and the far left one. So those are the middle. Those are the main trees that you will see from the photos. And then I'm making some trees that are thinner, and then something in the back. Now I'm mixing very lemon yellow to with a lot of water. I'm trying to make some base colors over it, so I'm doing wet on wet with clear, close to clear water that I based on, and I'm trying to put some orange color over it, so I'm creating the light from the back of the trees. Now that I am expanding the water parts that I started from very first, mixing a little bit of green color on top of these orange color that I used, and try to create some of the leaf that are in the back. They're more blurred on the photos. And expanding the water from the previous layers, and expanding the green more to the side. So now I have these colors laid out, making some clear layer again to prepare the layer for wet on wet. Bring some colors in using the previous greens that I did before. So as you see, I'm doing it very light the whole time because I'm creating the back of the trees, so basically making some more like blurred effect, and then I'll put more crispy brush marks on top of it. So I'm laying out the background colors first and see if I can create some distance, mixing some yellow colors into the green. So I'm not staying in one spot, I'm trying to go around. As I get close to the light part that we create from the very first layer, as you see, I'm making it lighter. So making it lighter to the top as well. Then I'm making the whole part filled with some colors to have that layer of the green color underneath of the trees, so that smears out when I put the tree colors in later. Now I'm coming down to the ground, making that clear background first. To do the wet on wet, I'm just cleaning out some of the dirt from the erasing some parts when I was doing the sketch. So making the blurry effect on the ground, as well as depicting some leaf and some fresh grass. I'm mixing a little bit of that orange color over there to create a little bit of warmer color. Mixing orange color as well to create the ground color. Mixing green again. So as you see how often I change the colors, it's almost every time I'm moving around the paper, I'm changing the colors. Using some darker green and then mixing yellow ochre to the orange color on my palette, or brown color, and then try to connect those colors. When you see it, I'm going between these light greens and cold dark green colors so that I have some parts that are more focal points to create more of a brush marks instead of making blurry effect the whole time. As you see, I'm mixing the brown color here and there to connect those colors to make it more natural in the nature, to make the ground color more fruitful. So from along the line of the trees, I'm creating these brush marks that are not so same all the time and changing the colors. Then I put more of just clear water to make it not always very sharp brush marks. Bring the green again. Mixing those two together to make it more natural. The green leaves, I put them together. As you see, the wet on wet with the color changes are beautiful. Don't forget to make brush marks here and there so you're balancing the brush marks and the wet on wet effect together. Now I'm using Van Dyke Brown to mix with ultramarine blue color. So I'm making kind of black, but not so black, still warm, using the full body of a brush to make the bigger area. And then I'm using the tip of the brush to depict the lines in the body of the trees. As you see, the direction of the brush marks are always different, and I'm mixing some of the previous colors that I used from the ground, mixing red with brown color to the existing color that you just mixed. Make sure the brush marks are different directions or different shapes or size. As you see, try to use the tip of a brush to changing the tone in the colors. Also mixing some green colors that I previously used. As you see, those are very dark colors, so try not to leave too much highlights in there. Using that green shade to lighten up some parts, because those are rounded around the parts where it's going over will not be so strong since it's rounded on the side. As you see, as it's going up, I'm using more of a lighter color, the tip of brush, to depict some of the lines in the trees more clearly. As it's going up, it's getting closer to the light effect that we made from very beginning, so that it makes sense in the painting, you know. So we're talking about the light in the work by making it lighter as it's getting closer to the brightest parts in the painting. You're still balancing up the colors as you go. If you see some parts that are not really natural, you're fixing that as well. And using the tip of the brush to bring stronger colors that are more intense, but you're also depicting how the trees look like at the surface. The tapes are getting warped, so making sure I'm securing the paper so that it's not warped. Using some purple color to balancing the tone. Mixing green to the purple makes it more like a brown color. Again, I'm using body of the brush, but also the tip of the brush so that I can balance. I see that some parts were just a little too dark for me. So what I did, I lifted the colors up by making my brush clean, dab enough in the paper towel. Using dark green color to darken some parts, giving some definition to some shapes of the trees. Still using half body of the brush, but the tip of the brush to depict the shapes and the patterns on the trees. Making some branches out. Using some very dark green color to depict those casting lights. I mean the reflection lights, obviously, but you know, the darker parts in the trees. Mixing yellow ochre to bring that lighter color up. But I have a little more water to the yellow ochre color, as you see, and then mixing a little bit of orange, brown color. I'm trying to connect those two. mixing real orange color to bring more colors up. Just using very clean water brush, mixing a little more orange to kind of emphasizing on that color with the light effect. It's not quite orange, but I'm mixing more orange to give exaggeration on the saturated color parts so that the trees pop out better, and also depicting the light affecting the colors. And smoothen out by just water and using some dark colors to bring it down. Making the black color again to have some parts more solid, add a shape, darken some parts to create better value scale, value structure, looks more 3D. Mixing some dark green color. Sometimes contrasting these colors in the dark color to intensify the effect of the shapes that you want in the darker parts. As you see, I'm making some leaves that are going over on the right side because you made those light layers of the green before. It looked more filled with light in the back of the trees. You're still making light leaves so that you can depict something in the far back. At the same time, you're bringing some saturated, stronger color to create the leaves that are more closer to you. As you see, when I depict something really clean and nice that are close to you, I am making sure grabbing the brush closer to the tip of the brush. Now it's a little further when I do the bigger area to paint. So this is gonna be the first part of the video. We'll continue this in within 2 weeks from now on. So this is gonna be the third 3-week project.